The Russian-Ukrainian conflict has persisted for almost 2 years now, resulting in substantial global costs. Both sides have invested billions in military equipment, leading to widespread destruction of crucial infrastructure. The death toll nears 500,000, and there's no clear end in sight. To address the aftermath effectively, governments, NGOs, and individuals worldwide should focus on planning for the post-conflict recovery of the involved nations. Currently, no resolution to the conflict is in sight, making strategic planning for the affected countries crucial. By not directly intervening, the international community can contribute proactively to preventing such crises in the future. Rebuilding war-ravaged Ukraine is estimated to require almost $500 billion, a sum unlikely to be covered by international aid. The burden will likely fall on Ukraine or Russia through war reparations, both carrying severe consequences. Ukraine, already the poorest country in Europe, faces daunting rebuilding costs exceeding 2 years of its pre-war economic output. The scenario assumes undiminished economic capacity, neglecting potential losses in capital and manpower. Realistically, Ukraine and Russia will grapple with the repercussions for decades. While it might be satisfying for Russia to pay reparations, historical attempts have shown suboptimal results. Alternative solutions include global economic powers funding the recovery of both nations, similar to post-World War II efforts. Though less emotionally gratifying, this approach could lead to more productive and peaceful outcomes. The goal is to avoid creating another North Korea and prioritize economic factors in shaping the region's future. Questions arise about the feasibility of the Russian and Ukrainian economies recovering within our lifetimes, and the most promising options for restoring economic functionality. Additionally, concerns linger about whether providing economic assistance to Russia might encourage other nations to engage in hostilities. These complex issues require careful consideration and strategic planning to foster long-term stability and prosperity in the affected region. Russia projects an image of economic and military prowess globally, but in reality, it lags behind true superpowers, relying heavily on its vast natural resources and substantial nuclear arsenal. Rebuilding a functional economy post-war could mark a new chapter, as Russia has never experienced genuine economic prosperity. Achieving a well-diversified and stable economy requires learning from historical lessons. Russia's delayed industrial revolution, coupled with the abolition of serfdom in 1861, hindered its economic progress. While the country embraced industry, wealth remained concentrated among the nobility. By the 1917 Bolshevik Revolution, Russia was predominantly agrarian. The Soviet economy showed progress, particularly in heavy industry, making it the world's second-largest economy for a time. However, it consistently trailed behind the USA and other Western nations in per capita prosperity. Demographics played a significant role, as the Soviet Union suffered immense losses during World War II, with estimates ranging from 8 to 11 million combat deaths and 24 million civilian casualties. Only China, with its larger population, experienced comparable human losses. The post-war era presented challenges for the Soviet Union, attempting to develop an economy with a significant portion of its young workforce lost. The devastating impact becomes apparent when considering that nearly 70% of men born in 1923 in the Soviet Union were deceased before the war's end. Causes included conflict, disease, malnourishment, and natural factors. Regardless of the breakdown, the loss was profound both from a human and economic standpoint, as the diminished workforce hindered reconstruction and economic productivity. Many survivors were also injured, limiting their ability to contribute effectively to the economy. The profound losses suffered during World War II have had lasting impacts on the population charts of ex-Soviet states like Russia and Ukraine, echoing through generations due to the inability of those lost in the war to have children or subsequent generations. The economic factors of production, land, labor, and capital, form the basis of any economy. Following the war, the Soviet Union faced significant capital and labor losses. In the aftermath of the war and the subsequent collapse of the Soviet Union, economic challenges led to widespread poverty among Russians. The privatization process in the newly formed Russian Federation was poorly executed, with government-connected individuals benefiting at the expense of the average citizen. Private ownership, previously illegal in the Soviet Union, became a contentious issue during privatization, leading to a distribution of wealth that disproportionately favored a few with close ties to the government. The government's attempt to address this was the distribution of privatization vouchers to all citizens, which could be exchanged for shares in state-owned enterprises. However, many citizens, facing poverty and lacking financial acumen, traded these vouchers for immediate needs, further concentrating wealth in the hands of a few. Calls to reverse these privatization efforts persist, but their feasibility diminishes with each passing year. Putin's rise to power involved a shakeup of the existing oligarchy, though he replaced the outgoing cronies with his own associates. Russia's current wealth inequality is among the most severe globally, with Soviet-era industry still dominating the economy due to a lack of investment elsewhere. The country's reliance on natural resource wealth, coupled with a reputation for corruption and political instability, discourages investment in non-resource industries. Before sanctions related to the invasion of Ukraine, advanced Western companies operated in Russia primarily for resource-related exchanges. In 2021, over 90% of Russia's exports were composed of natural resources, with less than 10% involving value-adding through manufacturing or intellectual contributions, often in the form of military equipment. Russia's economy, in many ways, operates as a petrostate with a tundra theme, relying on natural resource revenues as a buffer against global sanctions. Unlike more complex economies vulnerable to disruptions in material imports, service provision, or tourism. Oil and gas from Russia, much like those from any other global producer, have found willing buyers among neutral countries seeking discounted fossil fuels for their domestic industries. Despite the impact of the conflict on the Russian economy, its gradual decline can be attributed to its pre-existing state and its ability to secure deals with neutral customers. The path to economic recovery and reintegration into the global economy depends on the severity of the setback, whether it be an absolute collapse or a milder inconvenience. While sanctions and the cost of war have undoubtedly affected the Russian economy, it has long grappled with challenges such as slow modernization, political instability, and the loss of a significant portion of its workforce. To recover and build a globally competitive economy, Russia needs a stable and confidence-inspiring government, distinct from one merely clinging to power. Diversifying industries beyond heavy dependence on fossil fuel exports is crucial. While oil and gas generate value, an economy overly reliant on a single commodity can suffer severe downturns with price fluctuations. Developing sectors like technology, finance, and manufacturing, which employ more people, provide stability against economic fluctuations. Ironically, the invasion of Ukraine has presented unintended employment opportunities for those left behind in Russia's economic landscape. The government's redistribution of natural resource wealth to fund the war effort has addressed employment issues, offering lessons for potential future economic development. For a sustainable recovery, Russia must ensure that its natural resource wealth benefits the entire nation, rather than concentrating in the hands of a select few. Stable governance and a shift towards co-investing oil wealth into diverse industries can enhance economic stability and attract global investments. Russia's demographic challenges, exacerbated by the conflict, require attention. The loss of young, productive workers and a declining population pose obstacles to building a diversified economy. Attracting skilled migration is also hindered by language barriers and geopolitical considerations. Stable governance remains a linchpin for overcoming these challenges and fostering economic cooperation. While predicting the future is uncertain, a post-war rebuilding effort akin to those in Western Europe and Japan after World War II is plausible for Ukraine and Russia. Despite potential unpopularity, such efforts could align with broader global agendas amid a shifting geopolitical landscape, marked by increasing insularity and the rise of regional blocs like BRICS. We hope you like this in-depth exploration of the challenges and potential pathways for recovery in Russia and Ukraine following the ongoing conflict. Let us know if you believe Russia can undergo a recovery similar to Germany after World War II. How do you envision the future economic landscape for these two nations? Comment below in the comments section. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more insightful content from us. Until next time.